Alright, so we're back. We're gonna go through the gameplay of Imperial Settlers. Mickey's playing the Barbarians, Jeb is playing the Japanese, and guest star Kim is playing the Romans. She's a frequent guest star.
Yeah, she's being all quiet this time. So before we begin, we want to do the booze portion, since we are booze and boards.
Okay.
We tried to do thematic of what we are playing as, so Mickey, you have...
I have mead made by Jeb. I make mead too. Mine's better than Jeb's.
I have to agree with him for now. I made mine in the closet, so people don't like
Barbarians, mead. I was going for something ancient-y, I guess. So I went with mead for the Barbarians.
I'm Japanese, so I have some sake in my glass. Yeah, so that was easy enough. I didn't make that. And then Kim is the Romans, so...
I have, apple cranberry juice?
She has fake wine.
Oh, wine.
She has to drive, so...
Alright, so, as you can see, we have the round marker in round 1. We have everybody on space 0 of the victory track. Nobody has any resources right now. I have the first player marker. So, since I'm the first player, I am going to draw 2 from the common deck, and I'm going to draw 2 cards from my faction deck. Jeb is now going to do the same thing.
So I got 2, and I got 2.
Kim's going to now draw 2 from the common deck, 2 from her own deck.
Mickey's first player, by the way. I don't know if he said that. I don't listen to him.
Yeah, I did.
Often.
I know, he tries not to. Okay, and then, so now we've got our setup hand, so everybody is going to now draw a card, because we are in the lookout phase. We are going to draw a card from our own faction deck. First player, being myself, is going to reveal number of players plus 1 card, so we have 3 players. So I will reveal 4 cards. I am going to take, I guess I'll take this one. Jeb can take cards.
Action, they're all actions.
Yes, they are. It's kind of rough.
I guess I will go with the tavern, because I like drinking.
Was this your kit or
That was
your recipe?
the recipe.
Alright, so
I
this
did
is
a cherry one.
Gotcha. So we discard the last one, and I will now deal 4 more. And Miss Kim, you get to pick first. It's free to build.
Yeah.
Jeb wants it.
I already have it.
Oh. Take another one just so he can't build it.
Thanks, Mickey.
You're welcome, Jeb.
Actually, I might be smart. So, I can wreck it later.
Yes, you can. You can wreck it for free. Well, not for free, but once it does its thing, good to go.
The quarry's nice, too. Alright.
Come on. Alright, I'm grabbing a quarry for mine.
And I will grab rubble.
And this one gets discarded. So, now that... Oh, we're in the production phase, right?
Okay, so that ends the lookout phase. Now we're going to move to the production phase. During the first round, basically all you're going to do is gain whatever's on your board. The barbarians have 5 workers, 1 raised symbol, and 1 defensive token. And the Japanese have
4 people, 1 raised token, 1 shield, and 1 wood.
Thank you.
And the Romans have 2 workers, 1 raise, 1 defensive shield, 1 wood, and 1 stone.
I think that's right.
Thank you. Yep.
Alright.
And now the round begins. For my now remember, you only get 1 action on your turn. So for my action, I am going to play this Ruins. It's a feature card, and it says a building bonus of 1 worker, which is all that it does. So I built it, so I get the bonus. I put the 1 worker on my card, and it's now Jeb's turn.
Yikes, I got a bad start. I will spend 2 people to do my basic action, and I will get a food from that. So that was my go.
In case you guys didn't catch it, this ruins that I just built was free to build. That's why I didn't have to pay anything for it.
I am also going to build a ruins, or discover a ruins might be better. Thanks.
Alright, so back to me, and then I will... Oh, no. Sheesh, this is rough. I'm going to raise, so remember, raising from your hand, which basically take a card that has a raise symbol, spend a sword, get whatever's in the raise top right corner. This one has a gold and a stone. I don't remember if we indicated it when we were going over the rules, but it's raise from your hand or raise another person's. You cannot raise your own building that's already built.
We did not mention that, but that is correct. And on my turn, I'm going to follow suit, and I'm going to raise a card from my hand, and I get a gold coin and a stone from that. Could you give me a gold coin, please? Thank you.
I'm gonna pay a wood and a stone. Should I just set these here? Okay. And this building.
Oh, crap.
Where does this go? Here?
Yep.
So I can build this gardens feature. So each time I build a red card, I gain 2 victory points.
And that includes that one, right?
Yep, it includes, once it happens, it includes itself.
And it's also safe because it's one of my own faction's cards.
That's correct.
Which is a good point. I need to mention that for my Japanese cards. So the faction-specific Japanese cards actually have a raise cost. So Mickey's Barbarians and Kim's Romans, their faction-specific cards are safe from being raised. The Japanese are not. But the Japanese also have an ability that if they have one of their buildings on one of their faction buildings out, I can... Wait, I don't think it's an action, is it?
It's not an action. At any time during his turn, he can take a worker
and place it on top of it, and that counts as a samurai, which is equivalent to a shield. So I can make my buildings stronger, but they can also be raised. So sorry for that interruption. Kim built a building, and she went up 2 victory points. So she is leading right now.
Okay. I will exchange 2 workers for a resource. The resource I choose will be a piece of wood.
Alright. I'm going to pay a food to make a deal, and that deal is for a food, so I get the food right back.
So would it be better to put down a production card now instead of a feature?
I think getting
early on,
production stuff early is good because you get more production throughout the game. Because if you drop a production card on turn or round 4, you only get it.
Don't forget to pay attention to your deals though, because if you're stuck on production, it might be better to make a deal.
Right.
Also, another boy, we forgot stuff left and right, Jim.
That's fine.
One other thing, real quick about the cards in the game. In your faction, towards the middle of the card on the right hand side, there are faction symbols. Okay, that indicates how many copies of that card are in your deck. So this card that I'm showing you, for example, here has 3 of the Barbarian faction symbols. So there's 3 of these in the deck. Just so you know.
One other thing, can you grab that card really quick? We didn't mention it, but at the end of the game, for all the buildings you have built, there are stars that are representative of victory points. So you actually get victory points for your entire setup.
I'm going to build another ruins for free.
Nice.
And I get a person.
Very nice.
Ouch.
I am going to build my saboteurs. Everybody likes when I bring out the saboteurs.
I hate that.
Okay, so I have to spend a wood and a foundation or a building. So spend a wood. I'm going to get rid of the ruins. This card allows me for an action. I can spend a worker, and I can take 1 resource, which is a wood, stone, or food, from 1 enemy. My enemies are obviously the other players. Jeff?
I am going to spend my food to make a deal, and I get a gold coin from this one. Could you hand me a gold coin, please? Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to use this default action to spend 2 of my peoples. And I'm going to take a stone. I actually have one over here.
Sorry.
That works.
Get
Thanks.
a little pile of one over there. Okay, so for my next action, I am actually going to use the action of the saboteurs and take a piece of wood from Jeb.
Damn it. I mean, darn it.
And you can only do that once now since you have a person.
That is
on it,
correct.
right?
Unless it indicates that I can do it twice, that card has been used.
You just ruined my day.
Yay.
I'll spend the gold as a food to make another deal. And I get a card this time. I will take faction card. There you go.
Okay. So I'm going to do that action again, spend 2 of my people. And this time I'm going to take a wood. Now that Mickey can't steal it from me.
Good job, Kim. Alright, I am going to... I'm going to do this. Alright, so I am going to build rubble,
Wow.
which is a production card. I get 1 stone for each gray building in my empire, a maximum of 3. So I need to pay 2 wood, so I will spend that wood and that gold coin plus a stone for that to go into effect. I instantly get to production, so there is 1 gray because it counts itself, and I get a stone back.
Ooh, you did not leave me many options, Mickey.
Holy crud!
I'm going to spend my gold as
Nice
a
deals,
food.
dude.
Alright, so I made a deal for stone, so I get a stone. And that's it for my go.
Okay. So I'm going to pay my stone, a wood, and also get rid of my ruins. And I'm going to build this stone cutter production card. So that'll give me 2 stone, but it does not have a building thing, so I don't think I get it now, do I?
It's on this side.
Oh.
What do you mean? It doesn't have a building.
Building bonus?
No, but
No,
you get
you
it.
still
You still
get
get it
the
right now.
production.
You
Oh,
always,
really?
always get the production right
So I
away.
get 2 stone. Wow. Leave it to the Romans to start their
Yeah,
empire.
no kidding. I am going to 2 workers in exchange for a food. Jeb's turn.
Oh man, I screwed up so bad.
Yeah. Plus, I helped screw him over.
Yeah, him taking my wood did not help.
Jeb has 4 deals. That's pretty incredible turn 1, in my opinion. But
I'm going to spend the 2 people for a wood.
that's so ridiculous. How did you do that?
Gold. I spent 2 people.
No,
to
I
get-
got it.
Okay.
It's like, that's just impressive. That's all.
It was a good chain that I had in my hand.
I think Kim makes a good point. When you have, until you've played this a few times, the thinking that goes into your turn will be a lot.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
know.
agree with that?
Yeah, when I first played, I was like, I don't really know what to do much, so I did maybe a couple things.
Yeah, you don't get it right away, and then when you start to see the cards interact, and once you see an end game, what's gonna happen, you kind of get an idea better of what you should at least try to do at the beginning. If you can't do what you want to do, then it's like do the most of whatever I can
Just
do.
do stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm going to raise this card from my hand here.
Okay.
So it just goes there,
And
right?
you get a victory point and a wood.
Yep.
Alright.
Wow.
I'll take the wood from here.
Alright. On my turn, I am going to make a deal. And I'll put the deal card under my faction board without screwing everything up. That's going to generate a gold coin. Spend the fruit on that, the food, and pass the jet.
I am going to spend a stone and a wood to build a production place and get back a stone. Oh, do I want to do that? Feels like I'd be wasting a lot of stone. I don't think I want to do that. I'm going to spend the wood and the stone to build a tavern. It's an action card that says discard a card from my hand to gain 2 victory points. And I also get a building bonus of a card, so I'll take 1 faction. And I'm also spending my shield to put it on there, just because I can. Here you go.
Okay, I'm going to spend a stone and a wood, and I'm going to build this goldsmith's workshop. It's an action card, and then I'm going to defend it. Alright.
Look at this compared to her first game
Yeah,
already.
no.
She get a little scary. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and make another deal. So I will use the gold in substitute for the food. I don't think anybody can get one, but like Jeb, I'm just going to shift my shield over to my production card just because I can.
For me, I'm going to use the action on my tavern. It says discard a card from my hand, and I gain 2 victory points. So I will jump to second place.
And usually if the card doesn't have, if it's an action and it doesn't require a resource, from the pool, take a worker, put it on the card so that you know you've used it.
Yep. Because I can only use that once. So you're good.
Alright, so I'm going to pay my last little stone, so I'm out of resources, and I'm going to pay this card, and I'll build this warehouses. It's a feature card, and it's red, so I gain 2 victory points off of my other card. And I feel pretty good about myself because I used all my hand and all of my resources.
Oh, you can throw that shield on something too, just to get everything.
But these are protected, because they're my faction.
They can't be raised
Yeah,
anyways.
that's true. Why not, right?
And this card I played lets me store any wood, stone, or food. It
What?
won't go away after the end of each round.
What?
But I don't have any right now. So
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't
Oh
matter.
my gosh. I didn't even know that card existed. That's a one-of card that she just probably broke the game wide open for her. Anyways, I am going to pass.
I'm going to pass as well.
And then I'll pass.
Alright, so that is the end of round 1.
But we have to do the cleanup phase before the
Oh.
round marker. So cleanup
Not
phase,
the end of round 1.
Yeah.
Cleanup
Cleanup phase is everything that's on here gets tossed unless
Right,
you can
so-
save it.
So I'm going to get rid of the worker on my card, the stone on my card, the shield on my card, and I'm going to put the last worker that I didn't use into my storage.
And I cleared off my stuff, and Kim cleared off hers.
Because I used it all.
Yeah. And then what happens? The first player.
First player marker moves to the left.
Yep. So I'm now first player, and the round marker moves now, right?
Yep.
So at the beginning of round 2, we just moved to round 2. So it's the beginning of round 2 now, and everybody gets to draw a card, right?
From your faction deck.
From the faction deck. And then the first player, which is me, has to do a little work. And I will reveal 4 cards from the group deck or whatever. And I get to choose one. There are 2 productions and 2 actions. I think I am going to grab the Watchtower. Your choice, Kim.
Oh. That one looks crazy. Production is 1 victory point.
I remember I went that route in my first game I played.
Was it good?
I didn't feel like it was worth it.
It actually only equals up 4 points.
Yeah. I was like, man, if I get like 3 of these going, and I only had 1.
Right. Both of those other ones are gain 3 victory points. Wow.
I don't know, because like I get points if I build a red, but I don't make
Oh,
apples
that's
at
right.
all. So
You don't make apples?
no, unless I pick it, but it's not really. It'd be too hard for me to do.
It's going to feed off of gold or 2 people. Look at it like that.
And you can always trash it for building.
I don't get gold though. I'd have to. How do I get a gold?
Some
Either
cards.
production or make a deal, like my deal has
But I
a
need
gold.
an apple to make a deal, right?
Alright. You trade in 2 people to get an apple.
That just sounds like so much work. So then I need 2 of them.
Yeah, so, I mean, you might not want to go that route.
Yeah.
You could also raise that card and get an apple, but you don't want to raise it because you need to use it, so, I don't know. You gotta think for that.
Sorry, I'm taking so long.
I'm sorry, he's just going to edit you out.
Yeah, that's what I do is
I
when
know.
cut it.
Like that was one of the things when we were playing Netrunner. It came out really good. You like edited it. It's like everything looks like we're just moving right along.
Alright.
I'll take the cheap one.
Alright, so the 4th gets trashed. I reveal 4 new ones, and Mickey gets to choose now.
Yep.
Oh, that answers your thing.
There's your
Yeah,
gold production.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, it is.
Or there's this one.
And you can keep Jeb from getting it.
1 gold for each golden house.
Yeah, so if you got any more in your hand, that's a possibility.
What is that one? Oh, an action.
That one's kind of nice though. Spend a person and a stone to gain 2 victory points. But queen might help me. Which one?
I'm not telling you. I'm going
Coin?
after you. I go after you, so I don't want you taking what I want. I'm not going to look at the cards either, so you can't figure it out what I want.
Just because you can't see it, folks, Jeb's looking out the window.
I'll take the coin.
Crap. That's what I wanted.
That's why I took it.
Man, I'll take the other coin one.
Well, that's the one I really wanted.
Alright, so we've done that. Now we enter production, right?
Yep.
So I get 4 people. And at this point of the game, you can just, each player can grab it all at the same time. There's no need to...
Yeah, there's no, the order doesn't affect anything while you're doing production. You just got to remember, do your board, do all your deals, and do your entire production side. Don't forget you have 2 sides of your production, so make sure you get everything, because that's really important.
Enough of people there, Mickey. Holy crap. You have an army.
I'm going to draw a faction card for my deal. Ooh. And, I get to go first. So, with that being said, I will not let Mickey take my stuff again. So I'm going to spend my solitary wood to make this production thing that is faction specific for me. And I get to gain a person and a food right away for it. And I am going to use my shield on it. So you're good.
Why would you use a shield on that side?
Because I'm the Japanese. You can raise my side, remember?
Is that a Japanese card?
Yeah.
I know, but why wouldn't you save the shield for the ones you can't use the Japanese samurais on?
I have my reasoning.
Okay.
Pay a wood and a stone. To
Oh, I forgot to take my
build
shield.
my coiny production card, and then I'm gonna defend it.
And you get a coin when you build
Yeah, I
it.
do. Yay.
Kim doesn't want me taking that, alright. I'm gonna go ahead and build my monument.
Oh, and you get a...
I get a victory! Whee! Jeb, how'd you get a victory? Scum. Alright.
I am going to spend a food to build a some rice fields, and I get 2 food from that production. Your go, Kim. Oh, I'm going to throw a samurai on that. And for the samurai, I have to take a person from my, whatever it's called.
His supply.
Yeah, supply, and put it on my card, and the samurai stays there.
Through the whole game.
Yep.
Alright. I'm gonna use the default action, spend 2 people, and I'm going to choose to... what am I gonna do? Gain a wood.
And in case you're wondering, folks, he cannot move the samurais around. They're permanent once he places them on there.
Yep.
And like he said, they don't go away at the cleanup phase either. So 2 people, cash them in for a piece of wood. Jeb's turn.
I will spend a stone and a gold representing a wood to build this quarry. So I get 2 stones.
Woo, and I can raise that.
Here we go, Kim.
Alright, I'm gonna spend
Oh, I didn't take my raise.
a stone, and I'm gonna say this gold coin is wood, and a wood, and I'm gonna build this confectioner action.
Spend a person and 2 food to gain 3.
Yeah, and also it's
victory.
red, so I gain 2 victory points.
Oh, wow.
That's
Keep
crap.
jumping.
So I am going to produce the lumberjack thing for a wood and use a gold as a wood, which produces a building bonus of 1 piece of wood and production of normal of 1 piece of wood. So I get 2 pieces of wood back. And I am going to shield that.
I am going to discard a card from my hand for the tavern, and it says I gain 2 victory points when I do that. So I'll put a person there reminding I used it. I go up to. Here you go, Kim.
I'm gonna pass.
Okay, so Kim passed. So that means that nobody can attack her. Just a reminder.
And I can store all
Well, you don't actually store until the
Oh,
end
we just
phase,
sit
but
here?
that yes, you will be able to
Okay.
store all your stuff because you have a
Yep.
ridiculously good card. All right, my turn. I'm going to spend 2 people to draw a card. I will draw it off the common deck.
For my turn, I'm going to raise a card out of my hand, and I get two cards to draw from that. So I will draw 1 from my deck, and then I will draw another from my deck. Here you go, Mickey.
You raise that one. Is that what you did?
I raised this.
Okay. I'm going to spend 2 wood to build the gallows. That's a feature. And this is each time I raise, I gain a victory point. And that cost me 2 wood. And it's Jeff's turn.
I am going to spend 2 people to create a wood. Here you go, Mickey.
I will spend 1 person to steal Jeff's wood.
I knew it. I'm going to spend 2 people to get a wood.
I am going to raise a card that gives me a raise of a card and a person. This time I'm going to take the card from my faction deck, and I'm going to put the people into my supply.
I am going to spend a wood and trash this building to build.
So lucky.
What? That you were going to take
The
that?
card that I got after I stole your wood, then the card that I got when I drew a card cost 1 wood build.
Oh, whew. I'm going to build a dojo. It's a feature that says each time I make a deal, I gain a victory point. Building bonus of a Japanese card.
Speaking of that, when I raised that card, I had the gallows in play, so I get a victory point for that.
Alright, so I did my thing. Here you go, Mickey.
So I am going to spend 1 wood to build a village that instantly produces 2 people.
I am going to spend a stone and this building to build a trade route. It's an action, actually. Here you go, Mickey.
I will cash in 2 people for a fruit, or food. I could call it fruit because it looks like an apple.
I'm going to spend my apple tomato on this action.
Sorry folks, Jeb's not funny.
On trade route, it says spend 1 food to choose 1 enemy faction building and make a deal with it. So I get to take the top Japanese card from my Japanese deck, place it face down under that building, and I get the deal of whatever that building is. So there's some food, some rocks. What do you got over
I
there?
have people.
People and a card down there.
Oh, I have a card.
I'll put it under Mickey's card thing.
So it doesn't hurt him. You just gain
Nope, I just gained that. And since it's making a deal, this feature says each time I make a deal, I get to gain a bonus. Or 1 victory point. Here you go, Mickey.
And I will spend the apple to make a deal. And that gets me the apple right back.
I'm going to spend an apple to make a deal, which gives me the apple back. And I get a victory point because of my feature.
That's lame. 2 people to get a card. I'll draw from the faction deck.
I think I'm out of stuff to do, so I gotta pass.
And I'll spend the last apple that I have to make another deal, which gives me a person.
And Mickey's the only one left, so.
And since I can store my people, I think I'm going to pass also.
Alright, so we can clean up now?
Yep.
Right? So I
Clean up.
lose my stone, but I get to keep my apples, because that's my ability.
I store my people. Kim stores everything, I think.
Yep, it's just one stone and a sword.
Alright, so after we do that, we move this to round 3.